Yo, what's up guys? I wanted to create a video on tokenomics and give you my insights on why tokenomics are important, what you need to look out for when you get involved in a specific project, and what can be worth taking into consideration. So tokenomics is basically a tokens economics, how the supply has been distributed and how much of it is circulating, is everything circulating or is part of it circulating, how is it allocated, and so on and so forth. So I've been looking into specifically optimism, so I want to take that as a prime example, because when you invest in a cryptocurrency, let's just move myself there, what you need to look out for is, first of all, what does the tokenomics look like? So here, for instance, we have the unlocked being 23.4%. So only less than a fourth is unlocked and in circulating supply, right? And out in circulation. In my opinion, that's not a good thing. That's a very bad thing, because this price here of the asset is not indicative to the price it would have had if the valuation of all the circulating supply was fully diluted. So if you look at it, you see that the market cap is 2.8 billion, but the fully diluted valuation is 11.6 billion. So the max supply is 4.3 almost, and the circulating is just 1 billion. So the thing you have to take into consideration when you get into a token is that a lot of it may not be fairly distributed and fairly allocated to buyers and investors. In this instance, a lot of it is locked, and as it gets unlocked and puts into circulation, it's eventually going to get more and more and more inflated. However, I did mention something, or I did notice something with optimism. Obviously, a lot of it is locked. You have 20% locked. 55% has not even been announced for when it's going to be unlocked, and only less than 25% is unlocked. But what I noticed with optimism that can be worth looking into as well is their vesting schedule is pretty decent. So the way they do it, every single month they unlock like 2% of the circulating supply, of the locked tokens. So they unlock 2% every single month and put that into circulation. So they do this slowly to mitigate the inflation, because if they unlocked all tokens in just 1 month from now, the inflation would be horrible. You'd have so many venture capitalists, early investors, founders who have locked tokens dumping on your ass. And that's a very important thing to keep in mind when you get into a token or a coin, that it's probably going to have a much higher fully diluted valuation compared to the market cap. That's because you have a lot of VCs and team members, founders who have their tokens locked, and they can't sell these tokens. These tokens get unlocked according to the vesting schedule, and this vesting schedule is pretty decent, right? You have some vesting schedules where the tokens get unlocked immediately. At a specific date, everything gets unlocked, and that's not a good thing. That's something you have to keep an eye out on. That's why looking at the vesting schedule is important if you do decide to get into a specific coin. So with this, the vesting schedule is pretty decent. If you look at it up here, this is at the end of May 2026, you'll have a large unlock period here, which will significantly inflate the currency and the valuation of optimism, but this is well over the bull run that we have on our hands. 2026, the bull run will, extremely likely already be over, long before then. Not long before then, but quite a good time before that. So it won't carry on to mid 2026. So You probably won't hold up until this point anyways, but keep an eye out on the vesting schedule, and here as well you can see who are holding these locked coins. Here you have investors, you have core contributors, seed fund, governance fund, you have all these different kinds of holders of these locked tokens, and you see what kind of schedule they have. But despite this vesting schedule, it's a pretty decent vesting schedule. Everything doesn't get unlocked immediately, but I still don't like what I see with the tokenomics, with over 75% being locked. And here you can see also how often they unlock, or when the next unlock is in 26 days, and they will release 2.31% of the supply to be released into circulation, so and to be unlocked. But here you can also see it in more detail. You can see each little gap here represents a single month, and you can see it's gradually increasing in a proportionate manner. So the vesting schedule is important to take into consideration. Even if the tokenomics are shit, you can still have a pretty good vesting schedule, and that can kind of make up for it. And I want to look at something like Ethereum, for instance. So let's look at Ethereum. And you're probably aware of Ethereum's tokenomics, but I want to show it anyways. So with Ethereum, you have tokenomics of maximum supply. Sorry, infinite maximum supply. So the way more Ethereum gets into circulation is through their proof of stake consensus mechanism, where the users or investors of Ethereum can stake their Ethereum to help grow the network. As a result, more supply is being created as each block is being mined, in a sense, through the proof of stake consensus mechanism, and that puts more Ethereum into circulation. So it doesn't have a roof. It just the supply is infinite. An infinite supply of Ethereum can be created. So one might think this is not a good thing, and you're right, it really isn't a good thing. If a token or coin has infinite supply, that has inflationary tendencies, and that's not a good thing. So with this mechanism, the proof of stake mechanism, obviously more and more coins, more and more Ethereum are being created and put into circulation through the staking mechanism, and it has an infinite supply. But despite Ethereum's infinite supply, there is still huge demand for Ethereum, and the demand is outweighing the supply rate and how many more coins are being released into circulation, because Ethereum is being heavily used in the Ethereum blockchain, in many other L2 blockchains built on Ethereum to be used for gas fees, such as Base. They're using Ethereum as a way of paying for gas fees. Obviously, the Ethereum blockchain is also using Ethereum, Ethereum is just a high demand coin, and a lot of people are using Ethereum for gas fees, investments, staking. You have them for NFTs as well. Liquidity staking. Obviously liquidity farming and stuff like that. So Ethereum has a lot of demand, and because of that, the max supply being infinite is not going to have so much of an inflationary tendency on Ethereum itself. So it's going to be pretty fine in that sense. But if you want to go to like perfect tokenomics, in my opinion, then you have the big daddy, which is Bitcoin. So with Bitcoin, what you have is you have 21 million total and max supply, and then you have the circulating supply being less than that, so 19.7 million almost. And with Bitcoin, there are no venture capitalists, there are no like founders who are holding on to locked bitcoins in this sense. There is no one holding the remaining bitcoins for it to reach this amount. what differentiates this amount to this amount, which is like 1.3 million. There's no one holding it in like it's not locked in any way or anything like that. For these, for the rest of the Bitcoins to come into circulation, they have to be mined. That's the only way to do it. That makes Bitcoin very scarce and very valuable because no one is owning the rest of the supply. The rest of the supply hasn't been mined. And for it to be mined, and for it to be owned and put into circulation first, it has to be mined. And then the miners can decide, selling those Bitcoins or holding on to them, but they will be put into circulation when they are mined. So it will most likely take a very, very long time for the rest of the Bitcoins to be mined. But this is like something which, Bitcoin is like digital gold, man. Like, it has a scarce and a finite supply, which makes it super valuable. And in that sense, this is like amazing tokenomics where you have a roof and the distribution is fully fair as well. Everything that is out there is out there in the hands of retail, institutions, whales, but everyone's holding it and it is in circulation. So there's no coins that are going to be unlocked from nowhere. There's not like 1.3 million Bitcoins that are going to be unlocked and just tank the price and inflate it. That's not how it works with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is fully decentralized. No one owns it. It has no founders. Of course, someone created Bitcoin, but we don't know who that is or what entity did it or what organization. We have no idea who is responsible for Bitcoin. So it's fully decentralized. It's just a protocol for the public, for the entire world to use. So there is not going to be an unlock thing or anything like that. The remaining of the supply needs to be mined, and that's it. And I want to take a very specific example. One thing I do like about, let's say, memes are very good in a sense where the tokenomics are almost always very, very good. If you look at Bepe as an instance, and I'm not shilling this to you guys, I just want to take it as an example. Bepe has pretty much perfect tokenomics. If you look at their tokenomics, you have 100% of the supply available in the liquidity pool. Obviously, some of that supply has obviously been bought by retail and investors and probably larger institutions if they're into meme coins at this stage, which they probably are because they see the value in it. But everything that was circulating initially before anyone was able to buy Bepe was in the liquidity pool. Now, a lot of it is in the hands of investors, and the rest is in the liquidity pool. But none of it was, distributed to like founders or team members or like marketing. Everything was distributed directly to the liquidity pool. So, it was a fully fair launch in that sense. So it's, that's a good thing, and that's how it should be. And memes are pretty good at that. They have pretty good tokenomics. And then if you look at the rest of the tokenomics, it has 0% buy and sell tax. The liquidity pool is locked, so they can rug your ass if you're an investor in Bepe. Obviously, you need to do your research to see how long it's going to be locked, because that's always a very, very important thing. The duration of the locking period. Some projects have locked it for like over 50 years. Some have locked it for just like 2 months. So you have to look into that as well. And another thing, the token is renounced, so the contract is renounced. The contract creators cannot manipulate the contract or change anything because everything is renounced. So this is good tokenomics. Another thing that I do not think, or another meme that I don't think has the best tokenomics is AYB. If you look at AYB, you go to the website, scroll all the way down, you find tokenomics here. And something you want to look out for when it comes to investing in something like AYB. Obviously, you should always do your research when it comes to tokenomics. It's very, very important. But here you have initial liquidity being less than 50%. This is what's available in the liquidity pool, right? And then you can see what has been distributed elsewhere, right? to the KOS advisors, team members, you have 26.7% locked for 5 months. That's the vesting period, right? So because it was created on the 18th of December and the locking period is 5 months, that means on the 18th of May, so in 16 days now, what will happen is this amount will get unlocked and it will inflate the valuation of AYB. And if you're a holder of AYB, obviously right now it's not doing the best, but if you're holding past the 18th after the unlocking period, you may see a significant dip. It's already been dipping significantly. If you look at from this candle close to, it's already almost at 60% dip, but I anticipate that it will go lower when the tokens get unlocked, because these VCs, when they have their tokens unlocked, what will happen is they will dump, they will sell. The reason they will sell, even if it's gone down all the way down here, because VCs were able to buy it for an extremely cheap price. So they bought before it was even accessible to the market, before it was even accessible to retail. So they bought lower than this point. They bought lower than this price. So they got it for extremely cheap. So even though they sell here, they're still going to be super profitable, right? So when VC tokens get unlocked, which in this instance will happen in 16 days, they will dump their wins and their profits, and they will most likely do so because they will have made good profits. And they're going to want to take those profits. So they're going to dump, they're going to take their profits, they're just waiting for the unlocking period and for the vesting period to come to an end, and then they will dump. And this is what you need to look out for, because the price will be significantly impacted because of the VCs holding a large amount of the distribution and the supply, right? And that's going to affect you as an investor. So you have to be aware of the vesting period and the tokenomics. I don't like, investing in projects with such shitty tokenomics and crappy vesting periods. If you have such a large amount being unlocked in one instance, that's bad. At least with optimism, you have a solid vesting schedule where it's gradually being released into circulation. Here you have 26% in one go. With optimism, you have 2% approximately being unlocked every single month. This is not good. This is not something you want to get into. You should probably sell before these 5 months come to an end, which is the 18th of May. So you need to be aware of these things. And in another 5 months after this, you have another vesting period coming to end, 20%. So more and more is being unlocked. And this is not locked with the marketing, so that's a good thing. But 26.20% is locked. That's not a good thing. And the larger amount of it is going to get unlocked soon. And then they also have a selfie, which is not good. That just entails that they're greedy with that. What else do they have? Let's see. Here's the fee allocations, what they put that into, development, exchange listings, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, whatever. None of that is important. The most important thing is the initial distribution of supply and the vesting period. That's what you need to keep an eye out on. And you have to understand this when you get into specific tokens. Most of the time, memes are going to have amazing tokenomics. They're always going to be, most of the time, not always, but they're going to be fully diluted, where the market cap and the fully diluted valuation is the same, because everything that is circulating is all the supply. But for this instance, that's not the case. Some memes are going to be, exceptions to that. But you have to be aware of this, look into the tokenomics, and look into this page as well to look into the tokenomics of, larger coins that are maybe not memes. I don't think token unlocks list meme coins that much. Yeah, they seem to have meme coins as well. So ignore that. But they have all kinds of coins here that you can check vesting periods and tokenomics and unlocking periods and stuff like that. So look into that. It's extremely important before you commit to a project Tokenomics is very important, vesting periods as well. You don't want VCs to dump on your ass when they get their tokens unlocked, because they will. Even if the graph or the chart doesn't look that good, they still will, because they will have still made a bunch of profits. They don't give a shit about the project. They don't give a shit about the project. They've already made a bunch of money and they're gonna want to cash out. They don't care about the project. They're not into the project. They're just there to make money. They don't care about the community or anything like that. So you have to understand that. That's super fucking important. So look after the vesting period. This is a red flag. Get out before you can if you're already invested in something like AYB, and apply this logic to every other investment you make. Take use of their websites, their personal websites, to look into their tokenomics and possibly their whitelist and stuff like that. And also look into this website and see how the tokens are distributed and what the vesting period is. But yeah, I hope you got some value out of that, guys. And I hope it helps you in making solid financial decisions whenever you decide to invest into something new. And yeah. And if you have any ideas on what else you want to see in the future from my side when it comes to crypto or anything like that, just drop that in the comments and I'll get back to you and I'll see what I can do about that. Or if you have any questions at all regarding this video, just drop them down in the comment section. But with all that said, thank you for watching this video. I hope you got some value out of it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.